I changed my mind about this headboard a dozen times, but I decided I really loved this darker wood look with ornate details, so I'm making it happen. First order of business was to remove this metal piece. I wasn't sure how it was attached, so I grabbed a bunch of tools, and luckily it popped off without too much effort. It was only held in with like 3 small nails. I'm 99% sure I'm going to replace this piece. I decided to try gelstain on this headboard. I've never used it before, but I've heard you can use it without completely stripping down to bare wood. So I decided to give that a test, and I only sanded enough to kind of remove that top finish layer. And in fact, I didn't sand the grooves and ridges at all. So this will be a fun experiment. In hindsight, I kind of wish I'd done it all by hand because the stain isn't even where it did get down to the bare wood, but we'll get to that later. I did hand sand in a few curved areas where my sander couldn't get. And I also noticed this side had a gap, so I tried to fix that. It didn't tap in like I was hoping, so I drove a screw in and then turned it over, and on the back, reattached this bracket to try to keep it closer together. It's not perfect, but that'll work. Then I gave it a good clean of all the dust. Had to get a fresh rag because my first one got really dirty and also frozen. But a nice damp, clean rag did the trick. And here's your last look at the before. Now it's time for the fun part. This color is called Kona, and this was definitely a trust the process moment because it looks so dark. The instructions said to wait 2 to 5 minutes, and I tested it after 3 and saw it was not too dark, so I put it back on, and here I am removing it at about 10 minutes. At first I wasn't sure if it did anything. I couldn't see a huge difference until I compared it to the other side, but I left unstained for this very reason. I think it needs a second coat, but I also want to mix in like a little mahogany or cherry because I'm afraid of it looking too yellow. So come back for part 2 where I'll do the second coat and also start adding some wood appliques to give it more of an ornate vintage feel.